24 Hour Sports. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. As you can see, I'm here today with Travis Petty. This is officially going to be my mock draft 2.0. And then before we get things started, I'm going to just let Travis introduce himself.
Hello, everybody. I'm Travis Petty. I go to Savannah State University. This is my second year. I am a aspiring sports analyst or a sports broadcaster, whatever you like to say. I'm very interested in sports. Daryl is a good guy, so he put me on this channel. So I'm looking, you know what I'm saying, mock draft. This will be my first mock draft with someone.
All right, so the first pick. Now, talking about this first pick, I like all of my picks, all of my mock drafts, I've had the Bears trading out of this pick. But the more I think about it, and I'm seeing teams being scared of Bryce Young, so I think the Texans would be fine if they sit at number 2 and they could get Bryce Young. I don't see the Colts trading up in this scenario anymore because I think at 4, they could still get Will Levis or they could still get CJ Stroud. So in this mock draft, I'm going to have the Bears sitting at number 1 and actually picking Jalen Carter.
Jalen Carter?
Yeah, I got to go Jalen Carter number 1 for the Bears. I think that's the best, especially because that's important. Like the Chicago Bears head coach, he talked about the 3 technique. And Jalen Carter, I think he's more than just a defensive tackle. I think he can add a lot as far as pass rushing and stopping the run. The reason I don't go Will Anderson is because you got to have something on that interior. And I think they can really go edge in free agency. So that's why I'm going with defensive tackle right here.
I'm going with Will Anderson right here. I have Jalen Carter going like a few more spots down, but that's later on. I have Will Anderson going. In terms of last year, I don't want to talk about last year, Will Anderson, when you look at tape, he looks like a more dominant player on the defensive end side of the ball. Not saying Jalen Carter isn't, but I don't normally see defensive tackles going number 1 in the NFL draft. I'm trying to think of the first NFL defensive tackle from Cincinnati. I can't really think of a defensive tackle, but I have Will Anderson going number 1. Because when you look at his film, he's a 4-3 defensive end. He gets pressure. Yeah, you're right. You need pressure in the interior. But I think you can find interior in the free agency also.
All right, so who you got for number 2?
With Bryce Young.
Bryce Young?
So the Texans, Bryce Young going to the Texans. They have no quarterback. Jeff Driscoll, Davis Mills. I'm a Jaguar fan, so the Texans, they need a quarterback. They have no quarterback. They got P. Ryan, Brandon Cooks, Brevin Jordan. They got a nice little squad. They just don't have no quarterback.
Yeah, I think for me, the reason that I got to see what Bryce Young weighs. And I think that's the most important thing because teams, like, after the season when he's playing, we weren't thinking about it as much. But now we really getting closer and teams starting to nitpick. So you look at somebody like Will Levis or CJ Stroud, they're about 6'2 plus. Will Levis 6'4, about 240. And he can throw the ball. So now I think teams going to back off a little bit. And we see the Colts, it's no reason they're going to trade up with the Chicago Bears in that number 1 pick when they could sit at 4 and get the same quarterback. Especially if, like I said, it all depends on what Bryce Young weighs when he goes into the draft combine. I think he has to weigh, I don't know, for me, personally, I think he has to weigh at least 200 pounds. At least 200 pounds. Because at least 200 pounds. What you saying?
I was gonna say you're right. He's just a small guy. He's just a small guy. Small quarterbacks don't really produce. You got every now and then you have a Drew Brees here and there, but he's very accurate with the football though. He's very accurate with the football. He's just his height gets me, but you're right. The size and the height, yeah.
I'm not even gonna lie. I seen him compared to a smaller Patrick Mahomes. I don't know if I want to take it that far as this yet, but that's a tough one. But I can stick with Bryce Young at 2. I don't know if it's going to be 2, but I think Bryce Young is going to the Texans. Whether they trade up to the number 1 or whether they stay at number 2, I think Bryce Young is going to the Texans, no matter how it get done. So
yeah, I think he is.
Yeah, so number 3, the Cardinals. I think Jalen Carter and Will Anderson, basically, it's kind of everybody top 2 defensive players in this draft. So I got to go with him, especially for Arizona because they need defense and edge is always something that's needed. What you think about number 3?
I had Jalen Carter going number 3. I'm a bit. They have no one in the middle. You have J.J. Watt. He just retired. They don't have pressure on the ends. Correct. But I believe when you have someone in the middle that's going to call that guard and that center, the double team is going to leave one-on-one options for your ends. And I don't know if this is me, but I'm envisioning with the Cardinals, what Tampa had with Warren Sapp, Derrick Brooks, and John Lynch. Not calling the Cardinals defense, that front seven, that kind of defense, but I'm envisioning Jalen Carter, which is Warren Sapp. He's really not, but this is what I'm thinking. And the linebackers just have Isaiah Simmons, who is Derrick Brooks, fast like Derrick Brooks. And in the back, you got Buda Baker, John Lynch. That's what I'm envisioning in my head. So I think Jalen Carter would be a perfect fit for number 3.
Okay, yeah, that's solid. See, it's interesting because so you feel like Will Anderson is more dominant than Jalen Carter. That's what you feel.
Uh, like it's hard to explain because this year the film Jalen Carter was dominant this year. He was dominant this year, and last year he was a good player. Last year it was Jordan Davis, but last year's film, Will Anderson was a. Hey, do you remember what Will Anderson did last year for Alabama?
Yeah, I think it's tough.
I don't see defensive tackles going on.
Yeah, my thing is I don't think you can go wrong with either pick. So that's how I feel about that.
Yeah.
But what you have for number 4?
I have C.J. Stroud going number 4. I was in between with C.J. Stroud and Will Levis, but after what I seen C.J. Stroud do against Georgia and that defense in the championship game, I got C.J. Stroud going. Because normally, for what I believe, Ohio State quarterbacks really don't produce like that. But from what I seen him do against that Georgia defense, that defense Kirby Smart got over there with all those 5-star recruits, I played his heart out, and he looked like a real professional NFL quarterback. Will Levis, I have seen the talent perspective from a Kentucky.
I agree with that. I think for me, CJ Stroud, that's the safer pick, and I can see what people are seeing with Will Levis. I think it depends on what you need because if you want to win like now, if you want to be good this season, I think CJ Stroud probably can come in and have a good rookie season. But if we thinking long term, like if you want to develop somebody who has like a higher ceiling, then that's when you probably want to go with Will Levis because just physically he'll be capable of more if he gets in the right coaching staff. So I would go with CJ Stroud too for number 4.
Just hired the Eagles offensive coordinator from last year. He's used to having a mobile quarterback. Not calling Will Levis mobile, but C.J. Stroud is a mobile quarterback than Will Levis, and he's the former offensive coordinator from Philly with Jalen Hurts. You know Jalen Hurts is a mobile quarterback, so I'm pretty sure the Eagles offensive coordinator is used to having a really mobile quarterback. So you're right, C.J. Stroud.
I think that's debatable too because Will Levis he can run now, but I think he's more of a willing runner than CJ Stroud. CJ Stroud he can run, but I don't really think that's his game. I think he's more of a pocket passer. It's his preference, but it's a good pick overall. Number 5, I think. This is interesting to me because depending on what the Seahawks want to do, after we get from 1 through 4, I think the whole draft can get shaken up because I'm not sure. Like I see Tyree Wilson on the edge, and he can go to Seattle, but it depends because we look at a team like Carolina or maybe the Falcons trade up to get Will Levis because the Raiders are at 7 and they're going to go Will Levis if he's there, I think. But for the Falcons and the Panthers, if they want a quarterback, I don't know. It's interesting. Number 5, I'm going to have to sit and pick with Tyree Wilson because the defense. I think Geno Smith, if they re-sign him, the offense is going to be good another year. But they got to be able to stop the run. They were a pretty good sack team, but they could definitely use more on the edge. And Jalen Carter would be a good fit for this team, but he's not falling to 5. So
he's not falling past. He's not falling past number 3 to me. If he falls past number 3, they got to steal. I don't think he's falling past number 3.
Yeah.
But I have to agree with you. I got Tyree Wilson going number 5. After what I read, Pete Carroll said they need more pass rush. In a press conference, he said we need more pass rush. He's the one. Besides Jalen Carter, he's up there in terms of D-line player. That Tyree Wilson going number 5 because Pete Carroll said they need pass rush. You said they were a good sacking team, but you got to get constant pressure. In their division, they have the Rams. I believe they have the Niners in that division also.
Yeah.
I believe so. They have the Niners. They have a good stable of quarterbacks in their division. You need pressure on the quarterback. And one thing about Seattle, they don't run the same defensive scheme. But when you think of Seattle, you think of Seattle defense. This defense is based off getting pressure on the quarterback with their front four. So I have Tyree Wilson going to Seattle.
Number 6, who I think this is a controversial one because everything I've seen, it's a different player. It's a different player every mock draft I look at going to the Detroit Lions. So who do you have going to the Detroit Lions?
I have a corner going to Detroit. I have the corner from Penn State. I have Joey Porter Jr. They're going this high. Don't do me on that. I have Joey Porter going to Detroit with this pick. In the back end, they're not holding up. And I just see the Lions picking I can see just the Lions going outside the box. Because at first I had another corner going to them. I can't think of his name. But just bear with me now, okay? Bear with me. I think Joey Porter is the best corner in this draft.
Oh, whoa. Hey.
The dude from Oregon is underneath. I don't know why. I just got a feeling inside Joey Porter is going to be a really good corner in the league. I don't know why. It's him, and then it's the dude from Oregon and the dude from Maryland. But I have Joey Porter going to the Lions.
See, that's interesting because I got the corner from Illinois, Devon Witherspoon. I think at number 6 corner, it may be different. It may be a different corner of your choice, but it got to be a corner. It got to be that position. It may not be that specific player, but it has to be that position. And I like Christian Gonzalez too. And I wouldn't be surprised if Christian Gonzalez goes number 6. But for me, after watching the film, I gotta go Devon Witherspoon. The only thing with him is probably teams gonna talk about his size. But I mean, you gotta think about it. Denzel Ward went this high when he went to the Cleveland Browns. It's not all about the biggest corner sometimes. So on the number 7, I don't think this is really a hard one to debate. The Raiders just moved on from Derek Carr. So I think Will Levis has to be the pick right here. I really don't see Anthony Richardson may be the pick, but I think it has to be Levis or Richardson. It has to be a quarterback. It's just, unless they go offensive line, it has to be quarterback. And that's an outside chance that I think they go offensive line. So I have Will Levis at 7. Who do you have at 7?
I have the offensive tackle out of Northwestern. They don't have a line in Oakland.
Yeah.
And then there's still a possibility that they might get Aaron Rodgers. There's still a possibility. I'm going there that they're trying to get Aaron Rodgers. They're trying to get a quarterback in free agency. They're trying to bring a quarterback. They just let go of Derek Carr. I don't think they want to draft a quarterback. They just got Josh McDaniel. Josh McDaniel used to experience quarterback. I don't think Josh McDaniel came over to Oakland to develop a quarterback. I think he wants to get a developed quarterback like Aaron Rodgers or someone, a Ryan Tannehill type, who's already experienced and can come in with that leadership. He has the coach, but at the end of the day, he knows what he's doing. So I have an offensive tackle going to Oakland from Northwestern, Peter Skoronsky. Yeah, that's what I have going because they don't have offensive line. Alex Leatherwood isn't panning out. Josh Jacobs, he's looking on the way out. They have no line down there in Oakland. And I'm going with the narrative that they have a quarterback coming over in free agency. So I have offensive tackle Peter Skoronsky from Northwestern, offensive tackle. I have him going to Oakland.
See, I'm not even gonna lie with that one. You kind of talked me out of my pick. Because when I think about it, Josh McDaniels, like you said, and his coaching job, if he has another bad season, he's gone. So I don't know. Yes. So I don't know if you want to draft a rookie quarterback in a season where you're already on the hot seat. So that's an interesting pick. I like that pick. So at number 8, who do you have at number 8?
For Atlanta, I have Clemson. I have Clemson, Miles Murphy, the edge from out of Clemson. Atlanta gets no pressure on the quarterback. Simple as that. They get no pressure on the quarterback. And talking to a lot of Atlanta fans, they believe that they have their quarterback and their receiver and their running back. They just got to work on the defensive end. Their offense is put even though I believe they need to go to a quarterback. That's in my opinion. But looking from Atlanta's standpoint, I don't think they're going to get a quarterback. They have Desmond Ritter. I can't think of the running back's name. He got over 1,000 yards to Ricky, the Sloan.
Al Greer. Yeah,
Yeah,
Al Greer.
Al Greer year, Drake London with Kyle Pitts, even though they don't throw Kyle Pitts the ball. Like, I don't think it's the coaching for Kyle Pitts. I don't think they have good coaching. I don't think they can find the right scheme to get Kyle Pitts open. But I have Miles Murphy going to Atlanta. They don't get enough pressure on the quarterback. Grady Jarrett's getting old, and they have no one in the back end that can really hold up. Because when I look back at Atlanta's tape, the quarterbacks that they're playing, they have all day to throw the ball. So I have Miles Murphy going to them out of Clemson.
See, I think that's interesting because the more I'm gonna get to my pick, but I want to talk about because it really stuck between two people for me. I have either Lucas Van Ness out of Iowa or I have Miles Murphy, but I think it has to be an edge player, and I'm just not sold on Miles Murphy because after Tyree Wilson, I don't know as far as edge in the top 10 because I think Miles Murphy, he's gonna come in, he can stop the run, but as far as being a Nick Bosa, a Joey Bosa, somebody like that, a Myles Garrett, somebody just coming off the edge, getting constant pass rush, I don't know if he's there just yet. I don't know if anybody is there just yet as far as pass rushing, but it's an interesting one for me because I'm stuck between him and Lucas Van Ness. I think it's a tough one.
The way he has to be an edge player.
Yeah.
Enough sacks last year. I think he had only like 38 sacks, 37 sacks last year. They didn't get a lot of pressure on the quarterback. Either way, they're going edge defender.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Lucas Van Ness because I think either way, both players, him and Miles Murphy, I think you got to work on both of them. And looking at Lucas Van Ness, they're both big edge players, but I just think there's something more there. I don't want to compare him to J.J. Watt. I don't want to do that. But when I look at what he possibly can be, if he's in the right system, I think his sky, he can look like somebody that wreck a game. So that's why I feel safe with that pick. Going over to number 9 for Carolina, I got them going a quarterback as well. I think it's kind of high for Anthony Richardson, but I think you got to at this point. You got to. I mean, for me, because I look at a run game. If they keep DJ Moore, whatever they do with him, that can be your number one receiver. I think their defense is ready to go. This is also going to be a pick that's interesting based on what they do in free agency. Because somebody like Derek Carr or Jimmy G might be better fit for this team. But we didn't have free agency yet in this mock draft. So I got to go Anthony Richardson. I feel that if he's in the right system, with the right coaches, they're patient. Like his first season, we saw Justin Fields have somewhat a successful season, and they ran read option, RPOs, a heavy run system. And looking at Carolina, they also have a heavy run system. So I don't think he's going to be asked to throw the ball 40 times a game, 30 plus times a game. So I think he can be solid on a team like that and then develop into what he can possibly be. What you got for number 9?
I got Will Levis. I don't trust Florida quarterbacks. That's just me. I don't trust Florida quarterbacks. Period. I don't trust them. I got Will Levis going there. His arm, he has a NFL type body. He has the NFL type arm. He's mobile. But I'm looking at it from the head coaching standpoint. They just hired Frank Wright, he was the previous offensive coordinator for Doug Peterson, and he was the head coach in Indianapolis. I don't think he's used to having a mobile quarterback. Do you think Anthony Richardson runs more than he throws, or he throws more than he runs?
I think right now he should probably run more than he throws. Right now.
I don't think that fits that coaching tree. You know what I'm trying to say? I think Will Levis is a better quarterback right now. And the way Carolina is, they need a quarterback right now. They don't need somebody who you said in the right system. Yes, you need to be in the right system. I just think Will Levis is a better quarterback right now than Anthony Richardson. And another thing, I don't trust Florida quarterbacks.
That's interesting because Frank Wright, I know he was somebody who liked Carson Wentz. And I think Will Levis, that could be my comparison. Coming out of the draft, looking at Carson Wentz coming out of the draft and looking at Will Levis. Because I wouldn't say he's Josh Allen. So I think I feel more comfortable comparing him to probably Carson Wentz coming out of college. He needs a little more development, but overall, I feel solid with that. So what do you have for number 10?
Oh, I have your corner from Illinois, Devon Witherspoon.
What?
Now I have a corner going.
Okay.
Now I have a corner going to the Eagles for Devon Witherspoon out of Illinois. You watched the tape against Kansas City. One, they didn't get pressure. My expectations for the Eagles defense, I thought they were legit. Kansas City just ran through them. They didn't have enough. They ran through them. I didn't expect them to run the ball on Philadelphia with those two big tackles, but I think Jordan Davis will get better. So I think the front seven can hold up. I just think they don't have another corner on the end with Darius Slay and James Bradbury. I don't think James Bradbury is that type of corner that you can build around. I think you need someone on the other side besides James Bradbury. I think Devon Witherspoon will go to him. Will go to Philadelphia.
I can agree with that pick. See, me, like you said, you had Christian Gonzalez going to the Lions, right? So basically,
I had Joey Porter.
You had Joey. Actually, you had Joey Porter. So for me, it's just a swap between those two, and like I said, I gotta see the draft combine too because the draft combine can change a whole lot of this. But I think because James Bradbury is probably somebody who's leaving in free agency, so they need a corner.
Yeah.
And for me, it would be Christian Gonzalez. Like I said, Joey Porter might, because at the beginning, when I first started with the mock drafts, I had Joey Porter as the best corner. But I think just looking at everything and looking at what teams are thinking around the NFL, he might be that third corner taken. A lot of people see him maybe going to a team like New England or Pittsburgh or something like that. So it's interesting, but I definitely have them going corner. For me, it's Christian Gonzalez. For you, it's Devon Witherspoon. All right, so there you have it. That's my top 10, and that's Travis's top 10 for this NFL mock draft. What do you think about our picks? Let me know in the comments. As always, I think we have some interesting picks. I think we have some interesting differences about where we feel about these quarterbacks and about these teams. But I think this was a pretty insightful video going through the top 10. I'm real interested for the draft combine because I think that may change up my whole top 10. Especially once I get past 4 and we talk about the Seahawks, Lions, Raiders, teams like that. I think that's going to be changed, especially depending on this draft combine. But it's interesting at the end of the day. So again, as always, thank you for watching. Thank you, Travis, for coming on this channel and talking. Also, if you want to go follow him on social media, you can check out his socials.
Travis.904_. And for my commentary page, where I am the broadcast for Savannah State basketball, it'll be Travis Petty's commentary. Travis Petty's commentary, all lowercase.
All right, so there you have it. Thank you. And again, let me know in the comments what you think about our top 10. I think it's pretty interesting, but I know, as always, somebody has something different to say. But that's going to wrap it up for today, and we out.